All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, Shiba Nation YouTube station? Back with my guy Ham. It's been a minute, Ham, since we've been on the show here together. Looking forward to busting your chops a little bit here and getting back to owning your ass on these Friday shows here. Belman had to take my place for the season, but this week the old no fun job got in the way, so I was in Atlanta. Crew covered for me for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday shows, but I'm back here for this Friday, filling in for Belman. Thanks again for the team for picking up my slack while I was dealing with not a lot less fun stuff than talking baseball on these fine shows here. How's your week, man? How you been? I know you had your own no fun job get in the way as well, but we're back here with 12 games, Coors Field, and my boys are headed out to the Bong Rip City season in Colorado to take on the Rockies in Coors Field. So it should be a fun series here. And should be a fun one to break down. But what's going on, brother?
Yeah, what's going on? Glad to be back doing a show with you. The next time you bust my chops, it'll feel like old times, man. That never stops. But hopefully we can get the people some winners. Hopefully we can get some home run calls of the day at the end. But yeah, we were both grinding all week in the real day-to-day. Now we're doing this. So yeah, looking forward to breaking it down. The Brew Crew. Going to be super expensive, but super popular as well. So looking forward to breaking it all down. Yeah,
should be a fun slate to break down. And I don't know if we see quite the same ownership as a typical Coors Field slate just on the opposing team like the Brewers here tonight, just because DraftKings, I think, got the pricing right? They priced these guys up. So that does help the case here. They're probably going to be the highest on stack at the end of the day. But again, the pricing, you have to make some tough decisions. Safe to say probably majority of Brewers stacks are going to include Roki Sasaki out there in that Dodgers uniform late night. So we'll do our best to break it all down here, talk pitching, talk hitting, and do our thing, show off our new Slate station over here at Shiba Nation, which is winning members tons of money so far. I had myself a damn good week so far with some near misses up in that $55 contest with 10K to first. Overall, been a super profitable week, like I said, and looking forward to keeping it rolling here on this Friday night. We got Lone Wolf in here, amazing. William, My Lanes, Taco Todd, Warren Tyler, Aaron Smith. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton on your way in here. Go ahead and flip this screen around. And let's do the 2-screen overlay. Boom. So I did the dry run here up on the screen here, Ham. Ran 150 lineups, just sort of by projected sort to kind of get an idea of the slate. You got Sasaki at almost 70% of lineups, followed by Michael King, Yesavage, Leahy, and Ryan Weathers is kind of the main pitcher breakdown. And then voila, look at that. 92% Brewers stacks, 25% Rockies, Arizona, and then nobody else, right? So that's kind of the lay of the land. It's Coors Field, and it's cheap pitching. That's kind of where we stand, right? So I think some of these spend-up arms, right, like a Savage, like a Ryan Weathers, like a Parker Messick. Weathers and Messick have been really good this year, so I think that'll flip the build a little bit there. So we'll do our best to navigate it through here. But when we talk pitching, we go 8K and above. What do you see from 8K and above? You got Peter Lambert down there at 8,000 flat, all the way up to Parker Messick at 9.6. Does feel like a slate where the starting pitcher, or at least the quote unquote top tier, right? Obviously, it's not the same realm as like the Mizorowskis of the world, the Christopher Sanchez's, those kind of guys. We're seeing those guys in the 11 to 12K range. We're seeing the top tier here cap out at 9,600. So a little less and a little more affordable than what we have typically seen in terms of ownership. It's going to be Michael King, Yesavage, Weathers, and Messick up here, but nothing really going to stand out too much besides some of the value arms that we're going to talk about. So it's kind of whoever you like, go with it and play it. And what do you see up here overall?
Yeah, I think it's a decent range. I mean, let's start with Drew Rasmussen. He's one of my favorite pitchers. He's going to be a lot of people's favorite pitchers. Taking on the Marlins, $8,500. Had a bad outing his last time, but he gets a team upgrade. He gets a ballpark upgrade as well. Not an upgrade, but a good place to pitch. The problem with him is sometimes he'll throw 70 pitches, 75 pitches, and they'll yank him. But I like him at 8,500. I think he's in a good spot. I like Trey Savage at 9,000 as well. He has been, I'll say, mediocre the last two starts, but we know that he could put up a 30 ball at home against the Blue Jay or at home against the Orioles, $9,000. I think he's in a good spot. And then this Parker Messick kid, man, he's been dynamite I shouldn't say dynamite. He's been really good, though. Throwing around 90-plus pitches a game, southpaw. Gets to take on this Texas team that I'm not scared of. Jog Jams. They got some Jog Jams love in the chat, but that's lefty. So give me some Parker Messick as well. Ryan Weathers has been pitching great. Gets to take on this Red Sox team. He's certainly in play. I'm not a fan of Michael King. Interested to hear your take on Michael King. Not getting to Griffin, not getting to Lambert, probably not getting to Sonny Gray either. So it's really just Rasmussen and then this. I'll say this top three: Michael Wacha. No, thank you. There's some weather in that game as well. So I don't like Wacha. I don't know about you, but yeah, it's the top three for me. For the pricing, and then Michael King and Rasmussen. So I got about 5 in that 8K plus range. Nate.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown there. We do see eye to eye on a few guys here. I'll start with, if you can afford Parker Messick, play him. I think he's the best option up at the top tier between him, Savage, and Weathers. He's also going to be the lowest owned of the three because that $600 does matter when we have a Coors Field slate where it's got over a 12 implied run total. Hot, wind blowing out there as well. Big bump to bats in that one just from a weather perspective as well, which is already higher than what kind of the standard outlook is for that slate. So for me, Parker Messick does slide in number one. And then I do have Drew Rasmussen as my second arm up here. We have him projected right now for right around 10%. I hope that stays true because if that's the case, I really like him a ton. I was a little scary to look at the props, and I was pleasantly surprised. His out prop sitting at 17.5, juice the over. We know the leash concerns typically with a guy like Drew Rasmussen, but big park upgrade here going. Well, I don't want to say a big park because obviously where he pitches now at the normal Tropicana Field down there in Tampa is a good pitcher's place to pitch, but we know pitching in Miami is really good. Miami, yeah, they can. The top of their lineup can get, but they have a lot of strikeouts in the back half. His K props 5.5, juice to the over there. Out prop 17.5, which is 2 full outs higher than a guy like Savage for $500 cheaper, right? So for me, I kind of rank this top tier as I got Messick, Rasmussen, and then I will go King, Ryan Weathers, Savage is kind of how I see this top tier. I don't really want to mess with Michael Wacha at 8,800. He's a good real life pitcher. I don't like the upside here. It's really good hot hitting or really good hitting conditioning, in Minnesota here. Hot, humid, some wind blown out in that one. So at 8,800, when I like King, Rasmussen cheaper, and it's only an extra $500 to get up to Weathers and guys like Messick, right, for 800. I don't really want to mess with Wacha. I think you could play him in MME. It's not for me personally, even against the Twins. So I really have 5 guys up here, 4 main guys in Messick, Rasmussen, Weathers, King, Weathers, Savage. Savage would be number 5 just because he historically does have control issues. We saw that in his last start, 5 walks across 7 batters or something like that. Just absolutely couldn't find the zone at all. Do I think that's going to happen here again? No, but do I think it's going to go right back to him having his total control under him? I don't think so. He always has a strikeout arm. He has the strikeout ability there, but I just worry that the control is going to get to him a little bit, and that can lead to him having a shorter leash, right? And the sports books kind of see that as well. 15.5 out prop there for a guy like Savage, and at ownership, I just rather play the 2 guys around him more personally myself in Weathers and Messick. So that's kind of how I see this top tier. But I really think all 5 of those guys are in play. The guys I'm not on, it would be Lambert, Griffin, and Michael Wacha. Down below 8K, there's definitely some guys you can play here. Roki Sasaki is definitely the focal point of the slate. Had a really good start. He's looked really solid this year. If you peel back the onion and look at him last year, he's a completely different arm. And, well, we're halfway. I mean, we're a good chunk into the season here. And a lot of times some of these guys can make adjustments in the offseason. I don't know if I fully buy it, but Sasaki gets one of the best strikeout matchups in baseball, if not the best. The Angels against a right-hander pitcher at home. The Dodgers, should have some run support behind him as well. So has a chance to pick you up that extra 4-point win bonus, which can go a long way. His outs prop 16.5 minus 104 on the over, minus 128 on the under. So don't really expect him to go super long, but you look at his K prop 5.5, heavy juice to the over. By far one of the best plays on the slate when you just account for metrics, strikeout ability, upside, and the price. I don't know that I love it though. I like Christian Scott quite a bit right below him for $100 cheaper as a direct pivot off of him. And then I think you can mess with some of these other guys down at the bottom, a guy like Kyle Leahy, if you wanted to. But really, it's Christian Scott, kind of my favorite guy down here. What do you see below 8K, though?
Yeah, Christian Scott looks good. I'll agree with you there. I was looking at, obviously, Sasaki. Merrill Kelly. I like Merrill Kelly tonight, $7,200. He's performed well. When he's performed well, he's performed really well. When he's performed bad, he's performed pretty bad. But at $7,200, if you're looking for GPP, a guy that can go out and get you 20-plus points, which he's done in 3 of his 10 starts on the season, I think that's a great spot. And then Martin Perez doesn't have the K stuff. But at $6,800, if you're trying to jam in some of those Brewers, can he get you 15, 18, 21? Yeah, he's gonna need to go 6 or 7 innings, get a couple Ks, and get the win, which they're slated to do because he pitches for Atlanta. So it's really just Perez, Scott, and then Merrill would be my favorite one down there.
Yeah, no, Scott's definitely my favorite. Sasaki on paper is definitely. I'm not going to full fade him or anything, but I have some concerns with him here in this matchup. We just saw. I don't know. I think it's. Does he have upside? Yes. Is everybody going to play him? Yes, because of his price point, his K prop, everything, which leads to the projection being what it is. The guy's projected for 17.5 at 7,700, which is more than guys like Drew Rasmussen, Sonny Gray, Michael Wacha. He's projected basically the same as Parker Messick, who's 9,600. He's 2K cheaper, right? And he's got basically the same projection. So that's why the ownership's there and the strikeouts. I don't know. I have a gut feeling that tells me it kind of feels a little trappy here tonight. Do I think he's a good play? Yes, but I'm looking to get a little different, and that gives me more flexibility to eat kind of the guys up at the top tier and then get on a different roster construction. Like I said, maybe I go 2 spend-up arms when everyone's kind of going that mid-tier upper echelon and then playing Sasaki or even 2 of these guys down here to get up to that Coors Field game. If you just flip it and then flip off of Coors Field, I think that's an interesting way to play this slate here tonight as well. So for me down below, I have Christian Scott. I do want to hit on, I don't have Merrill Kelly. I won't play Merrill Kelly with your money, Ham, let alone my own money. So I'll leave that to you. I think Martin Perez, is pretty interesting. Pirates won me a ton of money this week. They've been red hot, but this Pirates team is not the same matchup against left-handed pitching as right-handed pitching when your best hitters hit from the left side, right? So you look at them over the last month against left-handed pitching, almost a 27% strikeout rate. You look at Martin Perez against lefties, 25% K rate, or that was last season, but you take a look. He's much better against the left side. He's probably going to see at least 3 to 4 lefties here, which does help him. He's not going to go out there and just wow you with strikeouts like you alluded to. You're correct there, but at 6,800, I think he can skate his way, kind of babe up his way to six innings. And if he gets you 6 innings, maybe 4 to 5 strikeouts at $6,800, I think that's fine on a slate like this. If Coors Field goes off, or some of the Yankees, the Dodgers bats that we have on the slate, the Braves who are now starting to hit the ball again. Ronald Acuna's back, obviously hitting. I think there's upside there, or not upside, excuse me, but I think there's potential there for him to kind of get a serviceable score at that price point. So for me, Martin Perez does kind of fit the script as an SP2 option. And then Kyle Leahy as well would be or Leahy, probably butchering his name, but at 6,600, he'd be the other guy. I really don't think there's a ton down here. If you wanted to mess with a guy like Reed Detmers, I think you could, just because I think he's a solid arm. Do I really want to play a pitcher against the Dodgers on a 12-game slate? Probably not. But again, nobody does. And at 7,500, that's another direct pivot off of a guy like Roki Sasaki. So for me, I think Zebby, Scott, Detmers are the pivots off of Sasaki. And then on the lower tier, it's Martin Perez and Leahy is kind of how I see the slate. But ideally, I like one of those guys, mainly Christian Scott, and in this top tier is kind of where I really want to live on my teams. Any closing remarks from pitching here?
No, I don't think so. I think you broke it down. Andrew Martinez asked about Zebby. He actually,
I think
Zebby.
Very good. Yeah, I think Zebby's interesting, and I don't mind him. I do have an issue just with, number one, the weather there. It's really good hitting weather. And number two, Zebby looked absolutely atrocious in spring training. He looked terrible in the minors this year. But at the end of the day, it's the Royals, right? So at 7,900, I think he's fine. I just like Christian Scott so much more. I'd probably rather take a shot on one of these cheaper guys than play Zebby, or get up to just find the extra $600 to get up Rasmussen. But I think Zebby would be interesting, just because, again, he's $200 more than the highest owned pitcher on the slate at a fraction of the ownership. So for me, much prefer Scott. Probably also prefer Martin Perez a little bit, and then probably even Sasaki at ownership more than Zebby. But I do think Zebby is interesting. He ranks pretty good in our slate station, which we're going to show off here when we talk hitting. But any final takes?
No, I don't think so. I think we got a good starting point with our starting pitching.
Absolutely. Let's jump over. I'm going to pull up the stone, but before I do, just want to show off our slate station, which is brand new for this week, which really gives you kind of the one-stop shop between the slate station and the stone, which you see here up on the screen. But this is our slate station. Like I said, brand new, really a one-stop shop. Again, gets live updated, gives you a time step at the top. The cores kind of auto-populate based on the data until I go in or whoever's on the cores for the day, whether it's Belman, whether it's Uham, whether it's myself, Title, G. Risen. Then it'll say our name, obviously. But these are kind of just a standardized core to give you kind of an outlook of the slate, even early in the day. So as soon as our live projections go, this thing populates here. It's very user-friendly. So again, pitchers, we had talked. It ranks the pitchers here for you. You can expand it out to every pitcher on the slate. You can click these tags and filter just to, okay, who are the core arms based on our data, the matchups, everything we see on the back end. There's a whole proprietary formulation that goes into kind of building these rankings and that. And it's won people thousands and thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, across all of our sports here. So very, very user-friendly interface as well. The nicest thing, like I said, is you can filter to these different tags, which makes it very easy. Go over to our stack rankings here. It has everything broken down with some blurbs. Obviously, the Brewers and the Rockies, right, in a 12 implied run total there in Coors Field. Makes sense there. But another thing, too, is the hitter rankings here. The nice thing about this is you can click hot bad. Okay, it gives you the list of the 15 hitters here on the slate that have been swinging a good stick. Click on home run rater. Who's some good home run targets? Hey, who's going to be low owned, right? Click the low owned tag. It has everything on here. So very, very user friendly. It has weather with an API built in, right, to pull Kevin Ross forecast. You see the green, yellow, or no issues over here. Obviously, the dome pulled right from his stuff. We give him credit right here. Obviously, Kevin Roth, that prop finder there. So you don't have to have multiple tabs open. You don't have to have multiple sheets open. You can have the slate station open that'll pull in the cores, and the stone up on your other screen, or SaberSim, our partner, up on the other screen, and really build your lineups. I mean, I used this a ton while I was traveling yesterday and the day before, like I said, or Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday when I was traveling. And nearly shipped all 3 days with limited research, right? Normally I'm diving deep in the weeds, but when I'm on the go and traveling for meetings and stuff, it makes it very easy for me to pull it up and look through it. So incredible work by the team on the back end to get that built. And our members are loving it so far. So it's a really, really good user-friendly interface. If you don't have a lot of time, right? I know we all work day jobs. We all have wives, kids, family, things like that, stuff on the go, especially on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You don't have a ton of time to listen to an hour show. And the show kind of summary, right? The AI summary will populate in there as well after we're off of here. So really gives you a bunch of research and time and kind of savings that you can really kind of just dive in an hour before lock and really get a good grasp of the slate and put yourself in a position to win some money. So I think it's really, really good. First game, though, on the slate, Yankees and the Red Sox. Ryan Weathers, Sonny Gray. I think the Yankees are super interesting here at no ownership. Anytime they're against a right-handed pitcher, especially a pitcher like Sonny Gray, who I think is in kind of his declining state of his career, you have to have interest in the Yankees. It does hurt having no Aaron Judge in there. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, which does hurt. But you get a free Spencer Jones hitting from the left side at 2K flat. You got some cheap bats at the back half. I think the Yankees are super interesting here overall on this slate. What do you see, though, in this one to kick us off?
Yeah, I forgot about the big bopper being out for 4 to 6 weeks, but you got this matchup, Sonny Gray versus Ryan Weathers. Where are they from, Nades? 2 of Middle Tennessee's finest. It's going to be a Middle Tennessee showdown. With Aaron Judge being out, I think that downgrades this overall stack a little bit. So no full 5-man stacks here. I like Ben Rice batting second. He would be about the only one that I would play. Cody, I would consider, and then Jazz, who has stolen base upside as well. I shouldn't say I like watching Jazz play, but he's been a pretty good DFS player this year. And then I'm not really getting anybody on the Red Sox. Ryan Weathers has been pretty much turned his career around with the Yankees this year. He's looked very well. So no Red Sox for me.
Yeah, we do see this a little different. I do have the Yankees at ownership, one of the better stacks on the slate. They are expensive, which does hurt, a little bit. But when you don't have Aaron Judge in there, you can just swap him in for a guy like Ben Rice, Trent Grisham. I mean, this dude just never gets priced up. He always continues to just do his thing. Again, you got a free Spencer Jones, like I said, Jazz with tons of stolen base upside. Cody Bellinger swinging a really good stick. So I do like the Yankees quite a bit. In terms of the Red Sox bullpen as well, 7th worst in baseball. And again, Sonny Gray over the last month against lefties in particular, giving up a ton of power, some barrels, some hard hits. And we know what the Yankees can do, especially against right-handed pitching. So at ownership here, I think the Yankees are really interesting at. I mean, you're going to get this team as a stack under like 20% ownership combined across 5 hitters. Sign me up for some of that. On the Yankee or the Red Sox side, I don't really want to pick on Ryan Weathers. I will say Wilson Contreras does murder left-handed pitching. So as a one-off at 4,300, I think he's interesting. It's also almost 90 degrees in Yankee Stadium with some wind blowing out, and we know it's a hitter-friendly ballpark there. So one of the sneakier stacks on the slate, which does feel kind of weird to say in the Yankees, but Sonny Gray, like I said, is still a real life solid pitcher. So I can see how this doesn't get there, but it's not like it's going to be popular either, and not going to take much to get over the field. So I definitely do have the Yankees pretty high up on my tournament roster overall. Next game here, going up to Toronto, Trey Savage on the mound, Brandon Young. I think if you wanted to play some Blue Jays here, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I don't love this game overall, though, from an offensive perspective. 12 games on the slate, can't play everyone. And obviously we got Coors Field to talk about, the Dodgers later as well. I don't love this game on offense here, but what do you see in this one? You could make the case, like I said, for the Orioles, if you wanted to just bet on Savage, his control issues that historically have always been there. Not to say it's going to be as bad as his last start was, where whatever, it was 5 walks or 7 hitters or something like that. What do you see in this one, Orioles and Blue Jays?
Yeah, I like Savage as a pitcher in general. I think he does a pretty good job. So I'm not getting to any of these. I'm not getting any of these O's. And then on the other side, I mean, these Blue Jays, you would think against BY, Brandon Young, that they're just going to cut up. But, you know, the last time Brandon Young pitched, it was against these Blue Jays, and he just dropped a 20-piece on them in Baltimore. So man, I feel like we say this every time we're on a show or every year, Nate. It's just the Blue Jays, you never need a Blue Jays stack to win you a slate. And I'm going to go with that again and say they're not going to be on the winner at the end of the night. So no full 5-mans for me from the Marlins, or I'm sorry, from the Blue Jays. If you wanted to pick one off, though, it would be Jesus Sanchez has looked pretty good against lefties at home this year. And then no Orioles for me.
Yeah, Sanchez, Lucas, Varsho. You want the lefties against Brandon Young. Baltimore does have a really good bullpen, which does hurt the stack as well. And again, 12 games on the slate, 24 teams. Neither of these teams really are super high up there on my stacking list. And if you wanted to bet against Savage and the control, I would just full stack or nothing on the Orioles side. Don't really want to pick off any one-offs, things like that. The top of the lineup of the O's is also kind of expensive. I'd rather just value hunt with some of the Blue Jay side overall. Next spot, going to Miami here, Tampa Bay Rays and the Marlins. Hopefully Drew Rasmussen fires up the oil and throws some Marlins in for some nice fish fry on this Friday night. We know we love our fish fries up here in Wisconsin. This is a game, again, don't love from an offensive perspective here. Going to be more of a bullpen game for Miami, and I never like targeting a bullpen game, especially against a team like Tampa Bay where pinch hit comes into play then, and they will definitely pinch hit. I don't love either side of this game from an offensive perspective. I'm probably not even really getting to one-offs here, kind of just crossing this game off and going on about my day, and this just doesn't really exist.
Yeah, I've never been invited to one of those Wisconsin fish fries by you, Newens, Title, any of you guys up in Wisconsin. Don't ever invite Ham to come up and see you. So I've never been a part of that. And no Marlins for me. I would love to play some of these Rays against Tyler Phillips, but we're in the same boat. I mean, it's tough to pick on a bullpen game because they only see the guys one time through. So this is an easy pass for me, Nate. It's in Marlin Stadium. But Drew Rasmussen looks very good in our stuff. Me and you both like him. He doesn't project very well. I mean, he's top 5, but he's not up there. So I really like Rasmussen tonight as a pitcher on FanDuel and DraftKings.
Yeah, I like Rasmussen a ton. So no interest there from a hitting perspective on either side. Takes us to your team, Hotlanta. The Bravos here, starting to hit the ball a little bit. Get Mitch Keller, who he's kind of just not really going to get a bunch of swing and misses. I think the Braves are pretty interesting here on a slate where, again, they're going to be super low owned, and usually that's the case when there's a 12 implied run total out in Coors Field on the slate. I think the Braves, again, are kind of interesting here against Mitch Keller overall. Ronald Acuna, like I said, starting to hit the ball again. You want lefties against Mitch Keller. So Yastrzemski as a cheap bat. Michael Harris has been red hot. Talk about another red hot bat. Mauricio Dubon. Obviously, you like him against a lefty, but this dude is 3,200, and he's just been murdering home runs left and right. The corpse of Austin Riley. I mean, I wouldn't play him I wouldn't play him with your money, Ham, especially against a righty. Finally, Atlanta's like, hey, let's move this idiot down the lineup. So he finally got moved down, but Albies, Olsen, Harris, Acuna, Dom Smith back in there. He's got a lot of power. Yastrzemski. I think the Braves fit the script again as a pretty sneaky overall stack. They're not super high up my list, but again, outside of kind of Coors Field, I think I'm going to spread out pretty decent in terms of offense outside of a couple spots. And the Braves are definitely on that list where I think they have upside to win a slate like this against a pitcher in Mitch Keller, who is not tremendous against the left side in particular. What do you see, though?
Yeah, definitely the lefties. And it's funny you say that only the best team in baseball is starting to hit the ball again. They win like 90% of the time, and they haven't hit the ball. But Michael Harris has been phenomenal. Dom Smith has been great. Mauricio Dubon, who is that, has been good. I got a cat crawling on me. Acuna was the hottest hitter in baseball last week. Matty Ice, Matt Olson's just cutting up. Give me these Braves. Give me these lefties. You already said it. That's who you're going to play. And one thing I love about the Stone that you're showing right here is, the Stone as Martin Perez as the 5th ranked pitcher. And I love that. I love going there, seeing where he is. He's not going to be highly owned. He's value in the Slate station, top 5 on the Slate station as well. Going up against this Pirates team, and you haven't mentioned it, I would be remiss if I didn't mention talking about all the blood sharks, the sharks in the water, all the red over here on this Pirates team. We got to have Martin Perez in the player pool, Nate. We just got to do it. Too much blood in the water over there for the Pittsburgh team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love Martin Perez as an arm, but at 6,800, like I said when we talked about pitching, right? This Pirates team, yeah, they've been raking at the slate, and Henry Davis probably hits another home run against a lefty, but I mean, outside of that, this Pirates team is not the same against lefties as it is righties. They're hitting right now, and Martin Perez is not going to wow you and kind of blow it past you. But I'm all Braves in this one overall. Not really. I'm jumping off the Pirates now, even though they won me a bunch of money this week. Probably go off and keep the shit rolling down with full 9-inning at bats there in Atlanta, but even if stuff goes south for Martin Perez, right, their Braves are just going to yank him and rely on their league best bullpen in terms of xFIP right now. So that's why they're the best team in baseball record-wise. It's not that they've been hitting; it's their pitching gets them to their bullpen, and their bullpen just kind of slams the door, right? So, Braves are bust for me in that one overall. Next game, A's, Astros, Peter Lambert on the mound. His metrics are kind of smoke and mirrors. I'm not really a believer in Peter Lambert. He's 12th in our pitcher rankings. Jack Perkins, it's going to be a bullpen game from the A's. We know the A's bullpen is not good. We know the Houston bullpen is – I mean, if the A's bullpen is not good, the Houston bullpen should not even be pitching in Major League Baseball. So sign me up for some of these A's at, again, no ownership. Again, we talked about ownership a ton on this slate, and it's really non-existent outside of Coors Field there and maybe some of the Dodgers, right? So if you like offenses, like we talked about the A's, the Braves, the Yankees, right? I think this is a really good slate to get overweight on those kind of teams where typically on normal slates with their implied run totals near 5, they would be more of the popular stacks on the slate. And now you're going to get them at each hitter at like 2 to 3% ownership each. I think it's a really good slate. A's fit that script. We know we have a bad bullpen behind Peter Lambert as well. I don't know. I like this one quite a bit. You want the actually righties mainly. Over the last month, Peter Lambert, even last year, he's reverse splitsy. So Brent Rooker, Langeliers, Geloff, those slide up. And then obviously Nick Kurtz is hitting beach balls right now. This dude has 3 or 4 home runs in the last 4 days or 3 days. Hit a double dong there in his last series. I don't know if it was this one or against the Cubs there. Talk to me. What do you see here? I love the A's side of this game in tournaments here.
Bang Deliriers, did you see his home run last night?
No, I didn't. Like I said, I was at Golf League last night, so I didn't even play yesterday's slate. I was kind of booked up all day, just getting back into the office and stuff like that. So no, I didn't. But you love righties against Lambert overall, so yeah, sign me up.
Well, Bang Deliriers hit a towering shot to center field that PCA didn't see. He got a Little League home run. That was one of his home runs. You love that. PCA in the field, man. It's been quite the adventure. But, yeah, going back to our to the Stone, and the reason I like it is no one's playing these A's. And you got Carlos Cortez, Shaylan Lears. They're 2 of our top 6 batters right there alone. We obviously know what Nick Kurtz can do. So I think these athletics are a sneaky stack, or at least the mini stack, against Peter Lambert, former Rocky great, who was decent earlier in the season. Now he's kind of slipping up a little bit. So I like the minis of the A's. And then I'm with you on the Astros. We're not going to do bullpen games, but if you wanted to go one off your dong, you can certainly do that. You can see what he's done against right-handed pitching at home. Just absolutely murders it. He's the only lefty in that lineup tonight for the Astros, which is par for the course for them. They don't have many lefties, but it's mini athletics for me, and then a your dong one off on the Astros side.
Yeah, I just don't love. I mean, I think I'd have more interest in the Astros if it wasn't a bullpen game. But, I mean, even then, you're going to mix, right? Managers can play platoon advantages. They can play matchups. And even if the bullpen's not great, which the A's isn't, the Astros against any right-hander are bottom 5 in the league in OPS, right? So on a 12-game slate, I don't love it, but you could definitely see this game go kind of bonkers because both bullpens aren't great. Neither, obviously, the A's is more of a bullpen game, and Lambert's kind of regressing back, like we had talked about over the last month, right? Every time Lambert's on the show, Belman, whether it's Belman or G. Risen, myself, we've been talking about his underlying metrics just kind of regressing back, and you're starting to see that. So, yeah, I love the A's here at no ownership on a slate, and then add in how bad Houston bullpen is as well. I think the A's have a very, very viable chance to kind of be the highest scoring stack. And let me pull up the Houston bullpen here for you real quick, Ham, and take a look at that usage: 62, 50, 45, 33, 26, 23, 23. The league worst bullpen is also tired. I don't know. Probably talked way too much about the Athletics, so they're probably going to score 0 to 2 runs, and those teams will be dead, but I'm going to pay to find out here. So I love the A's tonight in this one. Next spot, we're going up to Busch Stadium, 90 degrees, some wind blowing out in this one. Kyle Leahy on the mound, not a great arm by any means, but I talk about you talk about this Reds fucking team, man. They are, anytime they're getting ownership, just look the other way, Ham. I don't care if they're playing you in Coors Field with 160 degree and 30 mile an hour winds blowing out. If they're getting owned, I'm not playing this team. However, tonight they're not playing this team, and if people are spending down, I think they're going to click Kyle Leahy on the other side. Red's going to be unowned. Sale Stewart, Nate Lowe, JJ Bleday, who's been really, really good.
Get low, get low, get low.
Yeah, good hitting weather here. I mean, this is a spot where I'll jump on the Reds when they just burned everybody in that whole series. I think the Angels series, right? Everybody was loading up on the Reds, or no, it wasn't the Angels. It was the Rockies and Angels. Whoever the Reds were just playing, the Royals. They were like chalk every single time against I think, Noah Cameron, their other guy. They were just super popular, didn't do anything because this team sucks anytime people play them. I think the Reds here tonight are pretty sneaky, but overall, Cardinals, one of my favorite stacks on the slate here. Brady Singer is just not good. It's good hitting weather here. This Cardinals offense, the top of this lineup is really, really good. And then you got Brian Torres, who's hitting well. You got Nolan Gorman. You got cheap, free lefties to attack Brady Singer with on the back half, so you can really wrap it all the way around. I think the Cardinals is one of my favorite stops outside of Coors Field on this slate. Much prefer the Cardinals side than I do the Reds, but I saw some people talking about game stacks in the last one in the Astros A's. I'd rather game stack this one over that one just because I don't love the Astros side of that game. I think both sides are more intriguing to me in this one than that last game as a combination. So this is a game that I think you can stack up on both sides. Much prefer the Cardinal side. What do you see, though?
Yeah, man, we're aligned, and the Cardinals are a top 6 stack for us over here at Ship It Nation. So I love the Cardinals stack tonight. Lars Nootbaar, I believe, is making his debut tonight on the season. So he's kind of a wild card, but 2, 3, 4, 5 all look really good. Brady Singer is a gas can, as you alluded to. So, yeah, give me these Cardinals. Not so much the Reds. Kyle Leahy, man, look at that strikeout percentage, Nate. I don't know enough about him, but if you say people are going to play him, then I think maybe as leverage you go to this Reds team. But the Reds have been pretty bad. My boy Get Low over there, batting cleanup, looks good in our stuff. So definitely the Cardinals. How are the Cardinals going to come in from an ownership perspective, Nate?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be anything to scare you off them. I mean, like 30% range, which is, I mean, you're talking the Brewers and the Rockies are going to have a combined about 160 to 170%. I mean, the Brewers are right around 100% stack ownership. Rockies about 80 to 90% stack ownership. So anybody else outside of that, and the D-backs are going to kind of be the third team in line. So Cardinals are definitely down the list in terms of ownership. And I mean, sign me up. Brady Singer just absolutely getting mollywopped in terms of power by both sides of the plate, especially lefties carve this dude up. He's a fly ball guy. You got good weather here for hitting 90 degrees in Busch Stadium. I mean, I think this is a really good spot overall in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Cardinals, the top 3 stack, huh?
All right. I thought you were going to say more. So there's a little awkward silence there, and Ham's picking at his ear. But yeah.
No, we're talking Reds Cardinals, right?
Yeah. I thought you were.
I've already said it. Cardinals are one of my top 3 favorite stacks. And Shalhoub says the Giants are nuking again.
Yeah, that's hopefully
that's good for him.
Well, no, Shalhoub had like $6,000 in entry fees the other day and played the Giants, and they scored like 0 runs. So yeah, he said the next 2 days they're going to crush, and well, they crushed the next 2 days. So the Shalhoub curse is real. Shalhoub, go post your anti whoever not to play.
No, play the Cardinals, Shalhoub 1 through 5. Shalhoub, play the Cardinals 1 through 5. Thank me later, with Rasmussen.
I don't want to play anything Shalhoub's playing right now, because anything you play that he's playing, you're probably going to be the anchor holding down the ship in the water, trying to tread water. So I don't know. I know Shalhoub. I love the guy out there, but yeah, he's struggling at best. So Shalhoub, maybe throw your bias aside, dive into the Slate station over at Shipping Nation. Just obviously you're a member. Just take a look. Kind of go back to basics, right? Throw everything out, throw all your bias, throw all your knowledge that you have out the window, and just go in there and take a look and kind of scale it back a little bit is what I would say there. But yeah, definitely a great game to talk about on both sides. I did want to mention your take. I think we were going right. You said if people are going to play Kyle Leahy, I do think people play him because props, right? You look at his props, 4.5K prop at his price point with juice to the over at 6,600. And how bad the Reds are and the strikeouts that they have against right-handed pitching. That's why he's going to get played. I think he's a serviceable SP2 option. I prefer Martin Perez more than him. But again, I mean, this Reds offense is just, I don't know, man, they're so up and down. I'm more on the Reds offense in this one than I would be on Kyle Leahy overall, though. Takes us to the Rangers Guardians. This is a game I don't love. Guardian side, I think, is stackable. I'd be full stack or bust for me just because Kumar Rocker, this dude could walk a small village of people out there, and that's where the Guardians can get their job done. J-Ram continues to be a cheat code every time he's on the slate. The dude has power, stolen base. I mean, I think he leads the majors in stolen bases, or he's right up there. 5,400 at third base. He's going to be fairly low owned on this slate. Kumar Rocker, I mean, not great by any means. Super wild. I'm not playing any Rangers against Parker Messick. I mean, this dude especially carves up on the road. You look at this Rangers strikeout. I mean, you talk about blood red, this Rangers team. So, yeah, no Rangers interest for me on either side, pitching or hitting. Guardians, it's all Guardians in this one, hitting and pitching. Guardians, I think, like I said, 5 stack or nothing for me. Just if Kumar Rocker doesn't have it, he starts walking dudes. Well, now you have to come over the heart of the plate. I always talk about it. Anytime a pitcher has control issues like Kumar Rocker does, can go south in a hurry for you. And you're looking at 2-3 run home runs, grand slams, and that bodes well for what we're talking about here in DFS. What do you see in this one?
Yeah, I love the Guardians tonight. 5-man, my boy Travis Banana leading off has been good. J-Ram, his physique, one of the best bodies in the major leagues. Run, power, you got it. So, yeah, full 5-man for me. I like that. Kumar could walk a small village, and he definitely could put runners on base. Get some of my boys in there that can do the rest of the damage. Manzardo, I think he's in there as well. Angel Martinez. So, yeah, I love the Guardian stack. Parker Messick, probably my top pitcher on the board, taking on this Rangers offense. That doesn't scare me. I do think Corey Seager is back. But let's be honest, Nate, he wasn't that great from a hitting perspective before he went out. But love Messick, love the Guardians. No Rangers for me.
Yeah, no Rangers, Guardians. I don't love them. I'm a little bit lower on them than you are, but I do think, like I said, if I'm going to play the Guardians, I'm not going to play one-offs. I'm not going to play mini stacks. I'm going to go in full 5-man or bust and just hope that Rocker does his normal stuff and rocks himself right out of the game because he walks 2 guys, gives up a 3-run shot, walks another 2 guys, gives up a home run. You're looking at 5 runs there before he can go sit his ass on the bench and they can bring in that bullpen there. So, yeah, give me the Guardians over the Rangers for sure.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
My guy Taco Todd says don't rely on projections. Just it's a guessing game that we're playing.
Yeah, just educated guesses left and right? Just close your eyes, throw a dart at the wall, whatever it lands on, play that in your lineups. Yeah. Yeah, throw out projections, throw out metrics. That's how you play DFS in 2026. So here we are. But yeah, next game on the slate. This is behind Coors Field, the best spot for hitting environment overall. One of the best that I'm seeing here. Going to be hot, or not hot, but it's in the 70s. You're talking pretty good wind blowing out here. Zebby Matthews, I talked about him. Super up and down arm in general. In the minors, he was horrible. In spring training, he was terrible. He's had up and down starts so far. You actually want kind of righties in particular. He's gives up more power to the left side. Doesn't really strike out righties. So if it goes south, it can go south in a hurry. Michael Massey, Carter Jensen, Vinny P. The Royals are starting to hit a little bit, and they hit much better pitching than what we're seeing here in Zebby Matthews. We know the Twins bullpen is not good, second worst in baseball. So above average place to hit. A guy who's fluky at best in terms of starting pitchers. He does rank pretty good in our pitcher rankings, as you see there, ranked 5th. But the Royals also rank well in our stack rankings too. Hitter rankings, they're up there. I think the Royals are interesting. The guys you want to play are Jensen. You want the lefties for power. Caglianone, Isaac Collins, a switch hitter. He's pinch hit safe there. Michael Massey at second base, which is a weak position overall. 2,800, he's fine. Don't love ever picking on Michael Wacha. If you wanted to play Byron Buxton, obviously he's a great arm or a great bat for sure. Super talented whenever he's healthy. He's obviously healthy right now. I just never like picking on Michael Wacha. He's a good real life arm, not a great DFS arm. And that's why we don't have a lot of interest at 8,800. So for me, it's Royals or bust in this one overall from the hitting side. What do you see?
Yeah, sorry, I had to come off mute. The weather, I think, according to the Slate station, I think there's going to be some showers at some point. You talked about the weather being good. Waka looks good in our stuff. I don't love playing the Royals ever. Zebby looks decent. So for me, it would be just more, Bobby Witt, Byron Buxton type one-offs. But I don't think I'm going to get to a full 5-man for either one of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good home run environment, and you're talking about Zebby, who's got almost a 2 home run per 9 given up this season. I know the Royals don't hit a ton of home runs, but Vinny P, Caglianone, Carter Jensen, I mean, those 3 right there. Sally Perez just continues to do it, and I mean, this dude's never been priced over 3,500. It feels like this season. I think it's really interesting for home run hunting here. And I don't even hate a full 5-man stack of the Royals, because if they jump on Zebby early, you get a bad bullpen there. There is some pinch hit concerns for sure. Michael Massey, Michael Massey, Kyle Isbell are probably the 2 main ones there. Caglianone a little bit. But outside of that, I mean, there's not really a lot of pinch hit concerns there from the Royals. And I don't really want to play Kyle Isbell much or even Michael Massey at that. So I'm not too afraid of it. And yeah, bad bullpen and a home run prone pitcher starting here in solid hitting environment in Target Field. Yeah, I think it's interesting overall. Takes us to Coors Field here. We're going into kind of the night window. 4 games left to talk about. I think there's a lot of good offense late on the slate. I know we talked about a bunch already. Kind of the synopsis of the theme here is more condensed pitcher pool for myself and kind of spreading out wide in terms of hitting. I know I talked about a lot of teams that I already had pretty hefty interest in from a hitting perspective. That's kind of the way the slate shakes up here. Brewers, obviously the top stack on the board, not just because I'm a Milwaukee homer here, but this team benefits, and they don't wow you with home runs anyways, right? They're the worst team in baseball in terms of home runs overall, but one of the best offenses in baseball against any pitching, especially right-handed pitching with all their lefties. And Coors Field doesn't really boost home runs. It boosts kind of balls to the gap, obviously with how big that outfield is, and you add in the speed that the Brewers have. They have a viable chance here to, obviously, on paper, the most likelihood to be the highest scoring team of the slate, but you're going to have to pay for it. I mean, even guys like Sal Frelick, who hasn't hit his way out of the wet paper bag since 1912 when the Titanic went down. I mean, 4,100 for him. Luis Rengifo, probably, I mean, he can get pinch hit for $3,500. They're all priced up. I mean, we're paying low 3Ks, if not upper 2Ks for the back half of this Brewers lineup. DraftKings finally did their right thing and priced this team up. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably going to take an underweight approach overall in the Brewers on this slate just because I like to spend up arms. I like Parker Messick up at the top, and it's very, very hard to play Christian Yelich, Churio, Bryce Terang, Contreras, even Jake Bauers. Like, three of those guys, you now have to punt the rest of your lineup or play the same spend down pitchers in Sasaki as everyone else, and then the same value bats. Could it be done? Yes. Can it get there in tournaments? Absolutely. If I was just picking out a couple Brewers, Jackson Churio, Bryce Terang would be the two starting points because those are the two guys that would hit the ball in the air. Jake Bauers would be 3. Rocky side, I have more interest in the Rockies than I do the Brewers here. Just that ownership. Brandon Sprout, I think he has potential long-term. Don't think it's super there yet, but Jake McCarthy, I think, is one of the better plays on the slate at 3,800. He's got a lot of power. Rumfield, Troy Johnson. Rockies are starting to hit. It only took them to face the Angels when everybody was on the Angels the last series, and the Rockies were what did the damage and blew up chalk pitching, I think, 3 days in a row. Overall, what do you see in this one, though? Coors Field, pivotal point to the 12-game slate in tournaments here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be popular, and rightfully so, both sides. You said it. Rockies, it's weird this year, Nades, is that I feel like the Rockies bats are getting more ownership than they normally do. Normally, you're just playing the visiting team in Coors, but I feel like the Rockies are starting to hit better, right? Rightfully so. And so I love the Brewers, but as you alluded to, they're super expensive. Bryce Terang at $6,200 is just is a lot to pay. And then on the other side, you just got dudes up and down the lineup that look good as well, and they are cheap, right? You got two guys leading off 38 and 3,500. They're going to be popular. And then you have the next three guys in the 4Ks, so they're going to be popular as well. The Sproat GOAT, Brandon Sproat, he's gettable as well. So give me this Rockies team. Probably, and everybody's going to be the same way. I mean, they're 1-2 when it comes to, most popular stacks, and the ownership is going to follow them. So definitely in the player pool, definitely in the top 5 for me, both of them. You said earlier, there's a 12 implied run total, so you're going to want to get some of them if you're playing 3 or more teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, Brewers are always a full stack or kind of nothing for me just because it's very hard to pinpoint where the runs are going to come from because, again, the stolen bases, they don't hit a lot of home runs, so it's more of manufacturing, right, doubles and singles, right, stolen bases, RBIs, stuff like that, right, whereas you're not really going to get a ton by one swing of the bat. Now, Churio probably is the most likelihood guy here tonight to hit a home run, him or Jake Bauers, but, yeah, Brewers – if you can afford them and make it work, obviously I would love it here. But I don't know. I don't know. It's tricky here because you got to sacrifice a lot to make a full 5-man Brewer stack do enough for your roster that I don't know that it's worth it here on this slate. And Rockies probably the second highest owned stack on the slate. I mean, I think I'd rather just play a team like the D-backs, who we're going to talk about against Foster Griffin. I like the Nationals quite a bit against your boy Merrill Kelly, which I know we're going to differ there. The Yankees aren't getting played on this slate. Royals aren't getting played on this slate. The A's aren't getting played on this slate. I mean, there's a lot of offenses, 24 offenses, and I have interest in probably 8 to 10 of them that aren't even in this game, right? So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's obviously the best game on paper. Think I prefer the Rocky side, but again, that just doesn't feel good because if they do get to him, you're definitely probably seeing Aaron Ashby coming out of that bullpen there, which guys like TJ Rumfield probably get pinch hit for. Jake McCarthy gets pinch hit for. Troy Johnston probably is a pinch hit caliber. Definitely that back half and Julian and Thompson. So add in the pinch hit risk of the Rockies when a lefty comes in and out of that bullpen for the Brewers. That I don't know. I prefer the Rockies just because they're going to be lower owned. I don't love Coors Field here tonight compared to some of the other spots because we're getting teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees at low ownership on a 12-game slate because Coors Field has the highest total. And yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Mets, Padres, this is a game I don't love either side. I think you can stack both these pitchers up and kind of go on with your day in Christian Scott and Michael King, 7,600, 8,600. Maybe if you do a lineup like that, that's where I would play the Brewers, right? Play Christian Scott, play Michael King. You're not playing Sasaki. That'll give you kind of the keys to success with 5 stack in the Brewers. You got cheaper pitching, not a lot of ownership from the pitcher stack, so you can eat that ownership on the bat side of things. No hitter for me in this one. Yeah, you can always play Juan Soto, Jared Young, who's been really solid as of late. He's 2,700, but don't love playing bats in this slate or in this ballpark. Michael King can get wild, but Padres really good bullpen behind him. Bad place to hit. 12 games on the slate. I just think this is the game you cross off from a hitting perspective. But you have any rebuttal?
No, former Padres great Juan Soto makes his return to Petco Park. Should be interesting. Bo Bichette, who I normally don't like playing. I think he's okay, but yeah, it's one-offs for me on both sides. What about Christopher Sanchez? Christopher Sanchez, 50 straight innings of nobody scoring a run on him, and Fernando Tatis hits a CNI single back up shortstop to end that. That was disheartening to see. Not that it has anything to do with this game, but not stacking either one of these teams. I hate the Padres in general, man. They're so frustrating in DFS.
They're a horrible DFS team. I mean, they're a solid real-life team because they got a solid pitching staff. They do, on paper, have a good roster. But, I don't know. Fernando Tatis.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The corpse of Nick Castellanos DFA'd the other day. He's no longer a member of the Padres. They flew him out to Philadelphia all the way across the country. His former team did play him on the first game, then cut him before the second.
Yeah, I mean, I think Castellanos still has more home runs than Fernando Tatis in the season, and the dude doesn't even have an MLB roster or an MLB jersey to wear to suit up. So that'll tell you what Fernando Tatis power looks like on the year. Yeah, we talked way too much about a shitty game on the slate that we don't love from a hitting perspective. Takes us to Arizona, Nationals, and Diamondbacks. This is one of my favorite games on the slate. Talked about game stacking earlier, right? A lot of people are going to have that Rockies Brewers game stacked up if they can afford it. I know people talked about the A's and Astros game as a potential there. I also talked about the Reds and the Cardinals. I love this game on both sides here. Two of my top favorite offenses on the slate. Foster Griffin, I'm not a believer in him. You got Ketel Marte projected to be back in there today. Moreno's been really good. Arenado's been absolutely murdering all season, even against righties. And now he gets a lefty, which he hits well. Nationals bullpen's not good. D-backs bullpen, middle of the road. But Merrill Kelly, I mean, this dude is just – look at that barrel rate. I mean, almost a 20. This dude is just absolutely getting murdered. Nationals top 5 in OPS in baseball against right-handed pitching. Nationals, sign me up. I mean, I love this team. James Wood, CJ Abrams, Dalen Lyle is where I would start. You got a cheap catcher in Keibert Ruiz who never gets clicked because he always hits in the back half of that lineup at 3,700, and most catchers that hit down there are in that low 2K range as a value. So you got to spend for him. Luis Garcia has been really good. I love this Nationals team. They don't strike out. They put the ball in play. I didn't see if the roof is going to be open here. I'm assuming it's going to be closed in the desert, but it might be open. If it is open, even a better bump to hitting in this one. I love both offenses on both sides here. Nationals is my preference. What do you see, though?
Friends, don't let the friends stack the Nationals. Not against Merrill Kelly, the great one in the desert. Man, those snakes look good out there in the desert against Forrest Griffin, the former boxer. And then, I'm going Merrill Kelly. I think Merrill Kelly outscores Christian Scott. So that's our friendly wager, Nades. They're the same price. So, yeah, give me some Merrill Kelly tonight to mow down this Nationals team that's going to strike out a bunch.
So let me just read these numbers off here. For over the last month against right-handed pitching, obviously you know it's the Nationals, but if I didn't tell you this, team ISO 236, weighted on base average 363, strikeout rate below 20%, walk rate almost 10%. That's the Nationals. I mean, they have been, I think they were the highest scoring offense in terms of runs in the majors. I don't know if that's still the case. They were last week. I mean, I'll let you play Merrill Kelly. You can enjoy your negative fantasy points. I'll play the Nationals and win a tournament with them. all the ownership is going to be on the D-back side of this game from a hitting perspective. Give me the Nationals for sure. I also like the D-backs, but much prefer the Nationals. Nationals, one of my favorite stacks of the slate. I have them up in my top 5, probably right there in realm with team like the Yankees, the A's, the Dodgers, which we're going to talk about. I love them here. I'm not a believer in Merrill Kelly. I think he's declining. He's gotten absolutely blitzed a couple times this season. Sign me up. I mean, the dude's got a 15% K rate to both sides of the plate, barrel rate north of the North Pole. I mean, you can have Merrill Kelly. I'll take Christian Scott for max wager over Merrill Kelly on this slate. So yeah, really, really good game from an offensive perspective. Both sides look really good. Nats bullpen is not good. Foster Griffin, not a great arm either. Sign me up, but I love the Nats in that one. Last game of the slate, Angels and the Dodgers. Roki Sasaki, pitcher everybody wants to play. He's 17th in our pitcher rankings, which naturally in tournaments, I think the Angels' power makes some sense. We know they're either going to strike out or hit a home run, it feels like. Here tonight in Dodger Stadium, we got some wind blown out. Not super hot like it always is out there in LA. Sasaki's been really, really good over the last month. But you look at his numbers last season, lefties have carved him up. Issue is here, the Angels don't have too many lefties, but my guy Wade Meckler, I mean, this dude just keeps murdering baseballs. Sasaki's susceptible to the lefties. Walton is another lefty you can throw in there. Both of them are super cheap. I mean, I think the Angels at no ownership as a leverage, and maybe that's how you play the Brewers, right? You play Walton or a Wade Meckler for sure at 3,500. And then you pivot to like a Christian Scott instead of Sasaki, and then you stack the Brewers, right? Because every Brewers team, every Brewers stack is going to be anchored by Roki Sasaki at 7,700 because projections say so. The props back it up. We know he has the strikeout upside there, but this dude has control issues at times. Last year, he was not. He wasn't the same kind of pitcher. I mean, I don't know. That's one way to play the Brewers differently than what the field's going to do. Sasaki, I think, is an interesting arm overall. I don't love it on this slate. Dodgers side, though, here against Detmers, you like the Dodgers more against righty overall, but Pajes, I think, is a really, really good option on this slate. Nobody's going to play him. Mookie Betts, 4,500 at shortstop. I think he's interesting. I prefer the Yankees as a full stack over the Dodgers, and I prefer more kind of like power hunting with the Dodgers here at these salaries because – at these salaries, I'd probably just rather play the Brewers even into ownership. But what do you see to round out the slate?
Yeah, I mean, if Zach Neto is in the starting lineup, I think he's day-to-day. He's probably the best play on the slate, batting leadoff. So I love me some Neto leading off. Vaughn, Marquise Grissom, batting third's been good. Wade Meckler, who is that guy? He has just been the murderer of baseballs or whatever you said. He's been playing really well. Jorge Soler's been playing well. I think the Angels, Nades, and a GPP, like I said, even if you're playing 3 teams, I think a full 5 man on the Angels just to get super contrarian is in a great spot. What do they call this? The freeway series. I like the Angels tonight. And then is Max Muncy on the disabled list? Did you see that collision last night?
Yeah, he's not projected to be in there. I don't expect him to be in there. Not that he was gonna. He might have started even lefty, but yeah, I didn't see the collision, but I heard about it and I saw the tape back. Didn't look like it felt very good. So yeah, hopefully Max Muncy's all right because it's obviously pivotal to this Dodgers lineup, but. They'll just throw another guy in that lineup, or they'll just go and buy somebody else to throw in there.
Muncie's day to day, but they'll go buy somebody else. That's pretty funny. Hey, it's Friday night Dodgers. Where's my boy Hoop? I haven't seen my boy Hoop in forever. He loves playing those Dodgers. You know he's going to have him some, but. Yeah, Reed Detmers hadn't been bad, but I'm not – this Dodgers team, I hate playing them, but they can certainly go off. But I like the Angels as a contrarian, sneaky stack. And then I think the Dodgers have to be in your player pool, but it's more minis for me just based on their price.
Yeah, I'd much rather pick on other pitchers than Detmers. Not that Detmers is a world beater by any means, but I mean, if you actually look at it, he's better against righties than he is lefties, right? So in terms of strikeouts, for sure, between this year and last year, he's still a 30% K rate arm. Tends to keep the ball on the ground. The issue is Dodgers can all. I mean, maybe Kyle Tucker got something going. So if you wanted to pick one guy, even lefty, I think Kyle Tucker in tournaments as a one-off at 4,900 at no ownership after he hit 2 home runs last night or the night before. I mean, he found something. The dude's been brutal all season, but maybe he found something. It only took whoever he was facing. I forgot what their last series was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love the Dodgers as much as I thought I was going to come into the slate. I have the Yankees ahead of them. I have the A's ahead of them. I have even some of the Royals. I love the Cardinals. I have the Cardinals ahead, the Nationals, the D-backs ahead of them. So Dodgers do slip down the list, but as one-offs and kind of two-man stacks, power hunting, Freeman, Betts, Tucker, Pages, and Ohtani. That top five, I think, is obviously really good. Anytime they're on the slate, it's just they're expensive, man. And I like to spend up pitching. Parker Messick up at the top. It's hard to fit these guys, and if I'm spending that much, probably rather just eat the chalk in the Brewers offense overall. But that's all 12 games, Ham. Let's run it out. Your favorite or your top 3 pitchers, your top 3 stacks, and then a home run call.
Oh, wow. Top 3 pitchers are going to be Messick, number 1, Rasmussen, number 2. I don't want to give you a Savage just because that's like the 3 most expensive. I guess this is kind of I'll say sneaky, if you will. I'm not going to say Merrill Kelly either. I like Michael Wacha. He's 4th in our rankings, not going to get any ownership. And this Twins team does strike out a ton. I want to check that weather, but it's Wacha and Matthews. I mean, they're 4 and 6 in our rankings. I think those are both sneaky, great tournament options.
Yeah, I'll let you play $8,800 Michael Wacha Flock of Flame and his sub 90% or sub 90 pitch count on a 12-game slate. Yeah, I mean the rankings are what they are because of the metrics and the strikeout ability. And I mean, Wacha's a great real life pitcher. I don't see his upside in tournaments on a 12-game slate. I won't fault you for it, but yeah, for me. My top 3 pitchers, Parker Messick, number 1, Drew Rasmussen, number 2, and then Christian Scott, for a cheap guy, pivot off of Roki Sasaki, is number 3. My top offenses on the slate, not including Coors Field, because obviously those are everybody's top offenses. We already broke that game down, and I'm probably at the end of the day going to be under on that game. I got the Yankees up there, the A's, the Nationals, and then the Cardinals. Those are kind of my top 4. On the slate. I really like them. In terms of home run call for me, and then I'll throw it back to you for a home run call. I'm going to go to catcher. I'm going to go to the A's. I'm going to go to Shea Bangaliers. PCA is not going to have to worry about catching the ball because it's going to be in the 3rd row of the seats. Shea Langeliers is hitting a home run. And then a sneakier one, under the radar, I'm going to the Nationals. Hopefully he's in there. He's expensive, $5,200. Curtis Mead. I know it feels gross. Curtis Mead. Curtis Mead. $5,200. Curtis Mead. Welcome to baseball. Welcome to 2026, Ham. You should get up to speed on your baseball here. But I'll throw it back to you. Your home run calls. What do you see?
My home run call, everybody knows this, but Jesus saves, right? And we're going to go north of the border to let Jesus save us. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus Sanchez is going to take Brandon Young deep tonight. Good luck in your contest tonight. Just ship it.
Yeah, ham with the outro. Appreciate that. But yeah, as he said, good luck tonight in those contests. Hope to see those Shipping Nation logos at the top. Hopefully you got a laugh out of the show. We like to make it fun, interactive. Cores will be live. Slate Station is updated, ready to go. So if you're not a member yet, shippingnation.com. Click join now at the top. Less than $50 a month. You can get Optimizer, all of our baseball content all the way through the summer to take you into NFL. Hopefully you stick around. You can upgrade. Hit us up at any time to upgrade any package. and we will prorate it for you as well. But for Ham, I'm Nades. Good luck tonight. Like we said, we're out here. Peace.